Good morning, everyone, or I guess good evening to our Australian fans. Look at you, Anne. This is Generic Fool's Test. I am going to be streaming I've been doing too many Subnautica streams in a row, I think. I'm taking a bit of a break. I'm going to play Subnautica again later today. But I am going to, in the meantime, play some more American food videos. This time, we're going to be watching two videos because they're both sort of longer. They're by a American named Joshua Weissmen. I still did not unmute. Sorry about that. I don't know how much you heard, but probably none of it. But basically, we're covering two videos by Joshua Weissmen. The first one is, I tried food from every state in America. He actually cooks the dishes, and then he tries them, and he rates them on, the typical scale or tier list, with S being, the top, and then F being bad. And then there's the second one, which is he tries breakfast items from every state. Now, some states are just like the same. But yeah, without further ado, it's about time to watch.
Today we're going to make, taste, and rank the most popular dish in every single state in America. Today we're going to make, taste, and rank the most popular dish in every single state in America. Yes, all 50. The USA is a melting pot of food and culture, and everyone seems to think that their state has the best food. While some states have their well-known favorites, some just straight up have no food culture. Sorry, like, what is that, Delaware? Here's how this works. You, the audience, either in my YouTube community or my Instagram DMs, voted for what dish or food best represents your state. Now that we have our food, each state will be ranked on the most famous tier list on the internet. Now, a state can rank anywhere between A through F, and if it's truly God tier, then you have a special seat on the S tier list. At the end, every state we rank as S tier will compete in a showdown to determine which state has the best dish.
Okay, that last picture looks
But
suspect.
first, I have the most important announcement of the year. My cookbook is official. Every state we rank as S tier will compete.
Yeah, as I said, you saw that last thing. It looked like well, okay, whatever.
In a showdown to determine which state has the best dish. But first, I have the most important announcement of the year. My cookbook is officially out today. And the link's in the description. I didn't want to make just another cookbook. I worked really hard on making something that was the first cookbook of its time, focused on the one thing that no one ever talks about, which is texture. Dozens of different recipes, techniques, things like Nashville hot honey karage, brownie, greatest mac and cheese of your life. I hope you like it. The link's in the description. You can buy it now if you want it. That being said, on with the video. We're starting with one of the strangest named dishes I can think of. Number 1, Utah funeral potatoes. It's basically a cheesy potato casserole. You get some cornflakes, tossed in butter, lightly seasoned, put on top of a creamy, cheesy shredded potato mixture, and baked at 350 for an hour, and there it is. Certainly looks like it should be served at a funeral.
I've never had them.
I'm gonna say C. It's not as bad as it looks. D.
That's a D. This would be close to an F if it wasn't for the crunch on top. I'm sorry.
Our very first ranking of the day as a D tier. Sorry, but I'm also not sorry, Utah. Number 2, New Jersey pork roll breakfast sandwich. I heard that there's a big argument about whether or not this is Taylor ham. I don't want to get involved. Sear your sliced pork product on both sides.
Oh, no.
Place it
They
on the
look like
bottom
iron
bread,
crosses.
American cheese on top of your pork. Cook your egg in your pork fat. Season it lightly. Place a fried egg on top. Close it up, and well, the cross section doesn't look too bad.
That's an F.
Oh my god, it really is that salty. Holy.
It doesn't taste like ham. It tastes like preservative. I hate the Taylor ham, but I love eggs, cheese, and bread, so it's getting a C.
The Taylor ham's starting to grow on me. I'm still gonna give it a C though. New Jersey lands at a C tier. Moving on to number 3, Ohio Cincinnati style chili. I can't tell you how many times people have asked for this. And we're finally here. It's literally Skyline can of chili over spaghetti with raw onion and shredded yellow cheddar. I'm sorry.
To me, it smells like a white suburban mother's idea of char siu pork.
If an Italian saw this, I genuinely think that they would call the police immediately.
I was born in Ohio, and I fully disagree with this. Nah. Nope. F.
I'm gonna go D.
I think Ohio is like a beautiful state. If this ceased to exist, I would not care. Out of the hundreds, if not thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of sauces that can go on a pasta, why this? That is an F.
That made me sad.
And we have our first F tier. Real sorry, Ohio.
The Ohio.
And hopefully number 4 does better for Minnesota tater tot hot dish, which is quite literally Great Depression era beef, onions, vegetables, cheese with actual tater tots placed directly on top, organized beautifully, of course. Baked at 350 for 1 hour. It comes out, and I'm not gonna lie, it does look kind of nice.
I'm here for the tots.
C.
C for me. Very middle of the line.
It's average.
I think it's a solid B, but I guess that gives us our average at a C placement.
Number 5, Oklahoma fried onion burger. Ball of beef on a plancha, onions on top, smash, season, sear, flip, and cheese. Repeat with the second patty, place them on a sauce bun, and that's your burger.
Onions are good on a burger, but when you smash them into the patty, I feel like it takes it up to here.
It's something special.
It's really special.
It might be an S for me.
It's an S.
It's an S for me, too.
Too classy. S.
Which is exactly why number 6 is yet another burger, New Mexico green chili cheeseburger. Look, you guys voted for this. So same concept, smash patty, top with green chilies, top with cheese, melt the cheese, do the same with the other patty, mayo up your bun, layer it up, and we eat.
I mean, it's good.
It's a shame we don't have anyone
going on.
commenting.
I'm gonna give it an A because it could be improved upon.
It tasted good. It's just really not a fun experience for me. I'm gonna give it a B.
I'll say it's A. At the same time, it could be an F tier.
It could.
Because ultimately it's just about putting green chilies on a burger. So it's between an A and an S. The average rating says this is an A.
Now while we're in the Midwest, we're gonna move to number 7, Wisconsin fried cheese curds. It's quite literally cheese curds that are breaded and fried. That's nice.
Cheese curds are a process of the cheese making process, for those who do not know. They take these and you just fry them and, well, sometimes you'll dip it in a sauce, but it's got a slightly different texture than regular cheese. As I said, it's a byproduct of the cheese making process. It's a sort of squidgy thing. On Canadian, and poutine it uses cheese curds, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
When I left the Midwest, the one thing I was scared to leave behind was cheese curds, and I'm glad we have it here today. And it's always an S in my book.
S. It's an S.
It's a B. It's a small mozzarella stick.
Done with you.
I'm gonna join you, Cam.
This is a chode mozzarella stick. That's all it is. But by popular choice, it's an S tier, I guess.
Moving on to number 8, West Virginia's official food, the pepperoni roll. I think we got mostly votes for pepperoni roll. You punch down a proof dough, you divide it into 8 pieces, stretch them out in a rectangle, add your pepperoni, some mozzarella, roll it up into sort of a log. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't make pepperoni rolls. This seems right. I'm guessing here. Bake at 400 for 15 to 20 minutes, let it cool slightly, and now for the taste test.
But we're gonna cut it with my patented...
I'm reacting to, I'm showing the more American food because I think I've been doing a bit too much Subnautica lately. Or rather below zero lately. And while, the one I did last morning was relatively entertaining, I think people are done with me, I'm going to be playing it again later today, but at least having a stream break where I'm not going, I don't know where I am, what do I do next? I don't know where I am, what am I going to do next? Nut joke. Submarine joke. In the Navy. Sorry, but yeah. So, I'm watching this guy cover American food from different states and rating them. I don't know if it's going to be, actually very entertaining to people or you find it interesting, but it'll be a low energy video for a low energy stream. And hopefully I'll have more energy for my after work stream. How are you doing? I should have just said that first instead of making it all about me. Okay, that's always good to hear that you're doing well, person. Nah, I did not sleep well at all. I was tormented by constant bad dreams and filled with very depressing thoughts. That was, yeah. Well, good morning, person. It's good to hear that you're getting sleep. Yeah, well, you know, it just happens sometimes when you feel lonely or you feel like you're wasting your life at a job which you do not like, and then you're just going to die alone. But either way, let's not focus on that. That's a bit of a heavy subject to bring up in the morning. Okay, well, ignoring that, let's continue.
Knife book. Did you know that this is available today? The link's in the description. Please go order it.
Knife not included.
I just did this.
Don't do
Special
that.
edition.
Don't do this.
Not much going on. Give it a C.
It's a
Giving it a B.
pepperoni
I would
roll.
eat it again.
I'd eat it again.
I just wouldn't be that excited. I'm gonna give that a solid C.
So, C tier. Now we move a little further south for number 9, North Carolina, a pulled pork sandwich with a Lexington-style barbecue sauce. That's vinegar plus tomatoes and spices. It's a wee bit spicy, bruv, but not too much. Now, I know, some people like the tomato-less Eastern-style vinegar sauce, but this is what we're doing.
I've had a long opinion about vinegary barbecue sauces on pulled pork. It's good. It's a B.
That's true. I was gonna say that. Even if I was in North Carolina, I probably wouldn't be looking for pulled pork sandwiches.
I think pulled pork in general, aside from it being attached to North Carolina, is just B tier generally.
I'd agree with that.
So that came in at a B tier. Number
Wow.
10, Hawaiian Spam Musubi. It is quite literally the only canned meat I accept because it's not canned meat. It's its own thing. You're gonna need a musubi mold, a half-cup piece of nori, layer in some
Oh, yes, I bet you weren't expecting this as a American state food, right? Basically spam sushi. Now, the history of spam in Hawaii and in, you know, some other in some Asian countries is that during the Second World War, spam was provided to a bunch of places because it had a long shelf life and it would provide much needed protein for people. Now, for the people in the mainland America, we basically got sick of it and we're like, no, ew, fuck, go away. But for people in like Hawaii and also some people in like, you know, in Asia, well, more specifically, I guess Southeast Asia, loved it and developed a really strong taste and passion for it. And especially after World War II, like during the Korean War as well. In Korea, when South Korea was very harshly hit by the Korean War in general. A lot of their territories destroyed, people were poor, people couldn't get food. The only thing that they could do is depend on handouts from the US military, or literally stuff they threw away, which is how army-based stew, which is a traditional Korean stew, it was made, because they would get hot dogs, spam, some leftover vegetables, and ramen noodles from the US military by either donating it or them throwing it away, and then the Koreans would just take them and then cook with it. And that dish in Korean is called ude jjigae. It's also kind of funny because you also traditionally put a piece of like American like Kraft Singles cheese on top of this hot stew, and it's just kind of an amusing thing to show that, you know, it's just something that's really liked in Korea. Though in America it's kind of like, ew, I don't want to eat spam in a stew. But spam musubi is probably the easiest one to, you know, try. You basically you pan fry it. Oh, look at this, a bot. But basically spam musubi, which is, oh god, I've gone long off topic. is a dish which is, you take spam, you sort of pan fry it so that both sides are crispy. You wrap it in rice and then you put it in like seaweed like this. It's not bad actually, as long as they don't put too much spam in and as long as the spam is cooked.
Some rice, some sweet soy glazed spam. I mean, this is just a beautiful thing. Some more rice, press it down, wrap that puppy up, and split in half. I mean, it's beautiful right there, brother.
I love spam musubi. I mean, look at that. It's a perfect food.
Got a nice cross section.
It was tough.
This is really hard,
But I'd say there's nothing wrong with this being a solid A tier.
A++.
so close to S.
Very close.
I think it would be an S if we were from Hawaii. So I'll give it an A.
Coming in at a ripe A tier. On to number 11, Wyoming elk. If you're confused, so am I. This is what the people of Wyoming voted for. So we went for a Wyoming elk steak, which is apparently pretty good for you. High in protein, zinc, B12, but contains a chef's worst
That
nightmare.
surprised me
Low
too when I
fat.
first saw it.
Seasoned it lightly, salt and pepper, seared it, and basted it with a nice herby garlic butter.
It's pretty gamey, but I like game.
I'm gonna give it a D.
I'm not a person to really eat game. I can see where the appreciation would come for it, but for me, it's an F.
I like wild game, it's great, sure. But to represent out of all the foods that are here that we're gonna eat today, this is an F.
I guess F for no fat. Now remember, just because it's F doesn't mean it's bad. It's just a comparison to all the other foods that we have to eat today. It just didn't taste that special. So let's amp this up with number 12, Texas. This is where we live. And it's not Whataburger, okay? And whoever voted for Whataburger to represent Texas, I'm gonna find you and ship you out of here, brother. Out of the hundreds of votes we got on Texas, the majority of them went towards brisket.
If you talk about enjoyment of food, things melting in your mouth is very high.
Well, yeah, but you know, it's sort of annoying that there are people who, like, on these food things, like, what food represents your state the most? And then they're like, McDonald's! And it's like, no. What are you doing? Jesus Christ. It's like we're talking about foods that you actually make. And it's just like, come on. You're going to pick a fast food restaurant to represent your entire culture. That's why people say white people have no culture. Because, you know, people actually know, like, oh, this is something that people do. But also, it's kind of sad that it's also becoming true. Because people can't afford to eat regular food here. They have to go to fast food. But yeah, I'm not going to go into that. That's going to be depressing. And political.
High up on that list. Good brisket never fails to do that. I'd put this in the A tier.
I'm going A as well.
If you live in Texas and you eat smoked brisket once or twice a month, kind of like, it's an A tier. If you're from out of town, it's an S tier. That being said, for us, we're giving brisket a solid, highly, highly rated A tier.
Number 13, Washington cedar plank salmon. Apparently they cook their famous Pacific salmon on cedar planks. The food culture there seems to lean this way. Not sure how I feel about it, but we're gonna try it.
That's so good.
It has such a good smokiness to it, so I'm gonna go with A.
I'm gonna give it an A also.
In comparison to smoked salmon, this is really close. It's not exactly the same. I think this is an impressive thing to eat, and anyone who has not had this should eat it. We gotta give it an A for me.
A shocking A tier. Number 14, Arkansas biscuits with chocolate gravy. This is probably...
It sounds so weird, don't you agree? Well, okay. Well, yeah. Oh, no response person to biscuits and chocolate gravy. It's not like, you know, chocolate mixed with a savory thing. It's literally just a chocolate sauce on top of American style biscuits.
probably one of the worst things I've ever seen. There's no way this is gonna rank highly.
I had
This
never
might be
heard
the
of
most
this.
American thing we have.
Arkansas. Is this a dessert?
It looks like one.
I mean, one thing I do know is that these biscuits are great because they're from my old cookbook, which you should get my new cookbook, which is in the link in the description.
Do you think this is the only food we're gonna eat that looks the same coming out as it does going in?
This is amazing. You can't beat that.
Wow, that works out way too well. I wanted to hate this a lot.
Arkansas, holy
I'm gonna say
Well, first of all, those are American style biscuits. They look similar to scones, but they're not scones. It's kind of like my description would be salt and sugar look similar from far away, but you would not want to mix the two up. Like if you were trying to make, you know, a dessert and then you accidentally replaced all the sugar that goes in with salt, then yeah, that would be it might look the same, but it would taste very different. It's often made made using a lot of butter and a lot of salt. Biscuits are American style biscuits are basically more savory and buttery, and they also have they tend to be made with a lot of layers, and they're more flaky. Not croissant flaky, but they are. Although American style biscuits are more commonly used in both a sweet and savory context. Like, you know, that the biscuits and gravy dish that I've told you about, and I'm sure you've heard of, is a good example where they use sausage gravy on top of these, and it looks horrible, but it tastes really good. Or, well, as long as you're making it from scratch, it tastes great. If you're using, like, you know, a bunch of pre-made packages, then... And if you're also using canned biscuits, too, then that's not great. Of course, there are canned biscuits that you just heat up in the oven. This is America. But also, Pillsbury. I guess I should rather than a can call it a tin. Pillsbury Grands. Well, you're saying you're a British person who, you know, when I say biscuit, you're thinking about, like, you know, what would be most closely related to cookies here. So, you know, having literal, like, pouring, like, sausage gravy on that, or having canned cookies is something that would, you know, weird you out. But as I said, they're different. It's made using, like, butter, salt, and other stuff. It's something that, you know, I've seen a lot of people online try it and go like, oh, this looks disgusting. I can't believe anybody eats this. Oh God. And then they take a bite of it and they go, I actually really like this. I'm going to continue eating this. I'm going to make this later. It's one of those foods which it looks like a war crime, like biscuits and gravy. But it's a lot better. Like, it's like a completely different thing. Also, although biscuits or American biscuits and scones are different, a lot of the toppings for scones do work for biscuits. A lot of people do like eating biscuits with a little bit of butter and jam or jelly, or, you know, just fruit. You can eat American style biscuits in both with a sweet context, and then you can also eat them in a very, like, savory context. Like, for example, one of the popular things to have in America is a chicken biscuit, where you take a piece of fried chicken and then you cut open a biscuit, American style biscuit, and then you put the chicken inside of it. And usually it doesn't have anything else added because, you know, with all the butter and the biscuit and the salt in it, it doesn't really need any sauce. I mean, some people add hot sauce, but I mean, I add hot sauce, but it's just, like, really good, and it's considered a breakfast sandwich. I think I scared person away. I guess I have to continue alone.
This is a well-deserved S for me. Whoa! What? How is that not an S tier if we just did a whole one without even thinking about it?
I'll go S tier for
Whoa,
this.
whoa, whoa. I hate that this is so simple and dumb. I don't want to give it an S. I'm going to give it an A+++++, almost S, because part of me just doesn't feel right about this, but it doesn't matter. Somehow, Arkansas wrestled its way into S tier.
Yeehaw!
Moving on to number 15, Missouri. Toasted ravioli, which apparently is a St. Louis favorite. It's just ravioli that's been breaded and fried till good old...
Person's no longer responding. Did I accidentally kill a person with the thought of pouring sausage gravy on top of biscuits? And could she not get over the fact that I'm talking about American-style biscuits and not literally like, oh, I'm going to take some hobnobs and just literally dump a bunch of sausage gravy on top of them. Like, yummy. You know, to Americans, me going like, hobnob, it's like, why are you making up words? And it's like, no, hobnobs are a... One second. It's done. Yeah, well, I've shown you biscuits and gravy before. Nope. Oh. Oh, it's a rest. Okay, that's apparently it's a restaurant called Hobnob. Hobnob biscuit, yes. It's funny, you didn't come back until I started mentioning hobnobs. Well, okay, 1 second. It's this. It's not... You have... This is what it is. You basically just twist the can open, and then the raw dough is inside. You separate the biscuits, put them on a tray, and then put them in the oven. They're not biscuits... If you leave... This is not something that you leave out in a cupboard. That's not. It just tastes nothing like a cupcake, trust me. I mean, don't get me wrong, Pillsbury probably makes cupcake dough too, but you know. We're not getting far. But for those American and non-British people, this is a hobnob, which is, you know, a brand of commercial biscuit. They are made from rolled oats, are similar to the flapjack digestive biscuit hybrid, and are among the most popular British and Irish biscuits. McVitie's launched Hobnob in 1985 and a milk chocolate variant in 1987. Also, person, it's not a cupcake. If I put icing on top of that, you would be... It wouldn't be the worst thing, but it would be very disappointing if you were expecting a cupcake and bit into an American biscuit. Because, you know, you're expecting soft cake, and biscuits tend to have a slightly, on the outside, slightly firmer texture. Not like... I mean, they're supposed to be very soft and fluffy inside, but not so much on the outside. Depending on where you go, it could, or how you get them, or whether they're homemade or handmade. But I'm getting sidetracked. Fried ravioli.
GBD, that's golden brown delicious. Gotta be good.
I'm gonna go C.
I'm gonna go B. I kind of liked it.
D. I'm sure it can be better. I just don't need it to be like that. So we'll average it out at C tier.
Number 16, Nevada, which you'd be shocked how hard it was to find a dish for this place because it's a desert. And weirdly enough, the number one voted item was shrimp cocktail.
That's okay.
I wouldn't put it all the way up in an A. This is really boring from a culinary standpoint. This is just a shrimp cocktail. I think it's a D.
So we got a D, a B, and an A?
Yeah.
So I think that probably evens it out to what? A C?
Number 17, Delaware, Scrapple. So apparently this is actually from Pennsylvania, but Delaware loves it so much that they voted for it to represent...
Ah, this dish. I am not a fan. Person, I don't recommend you try this. It's one of those dishes which culturally has existed because there was tough times. There are better ways to eat this, the stuff that this is consistent of. Now, if you've grown up with it, it will hold a deep place in your heart. But otherwise, it's texture-wise and taste-wise, to me, it is a bit like, oh, person, it is not. The consistency is sort of mushy. But I'll stop there.
Present them. I'm sorry if you don't like this choice. Neither did we.
Smelly deli.
Oh, God. I don't want to eat this.
Gosh.
Do you know the way throw up feels in your mouth when it's coming up? That's the way that feels.
F.
Get better food.
F tier. Number 18, Rhode Island, calamari. You should know what this is. It's quite literally little fried calamari. Tossed in a little garlic butter, some hot peppers. Sounds good.
Person has
I don't
gone back
like
to being
calamari,
silent.
But it kind of just tastes like anything fried.
Honestly,
I think this, after being traumatized by the thought of having American like biscuits in a tin, she was like, "Oh God, I don't think it can get any worse." Scrapple comes on. I was like, "Ew, it looks like a brick." Oh, it's not even. It's not anywhere near. And then the descriptions of them going into detail about it.
one of your best takes ever. I was trying to figure out how to describe it. That's exactly what it is.
I'm gonna give a strong, powerful C.
I'm going A. I grew up in the Northeast. I think this is fire.
It's a really strong, powerful B. So we'll average that out at B.
Number 19, South Dakota Chislic. I don't know if I should be saying that word out loud, but hey, whatever you say, South Dakota. It's seasoned lamb on skewers and, well, deep fried. Sometimes people use mutton or venison, but it's just seasoned and thrown directly in a deep fryer. That's it.
Not mad at that at all.
Actually pretty good.
I'd give it an A. There's nothing wrong with it.
I'll give it a B.
If there was something that was traditionally supposed to go with this, I would give it a higher rating than I'm about to give it. I'm gonna give that a solid B. So we average out at a B.
Number 20, North Dakota. We finally made it to the other Dakota. This is called Knofla, Knofla, Knofle. You guys know I'm not great with pronunciations. Soup. Long story short, it's a creamy German chicken and dumpling soup. I have a good feeling about this one.
God damn.
Very good. I'm gonna give this an A, but it's a very enjoyable A.
It's an A.
It's creamy, it's salty, it's rich. It's also surprisingly balanced. But what I love about it, what's different about this than any other soup, is these chewy dumplings that are in it.
Oh no, did person leave? I'm down a viewer. Did person go, "I can't handle this in the morning. I'm worried what will come up next."
There. This is an A that aspires to be an S.
That came in at an A tier. Number 21, Alabama barbecue chicken with white barbecue sauce. That's a thing. I have always thought white barbecue sauce was illegal, with my mom being from Texas and, well, us living in Texas. But hey, we'll give it a try. You got a nice smoked chicken, drizzled generously with a mayo vinegar-based white barbecue sauce, which apparently keeps the chicken from drying out. I don't know how true that is.
It's actually really good. I'm into that.
For me, that's an A.
It's a B minus. It's close to a C.
It's good. It's just, if I were to never have that again, I wouldn't care. B. B tier.
Number 22, Virginia, which everybody voted for country ham. That was it. Didn't vote for anything else, so we decided, well, let's give Virginia a helping hand and try to at least put it on a sandwich, which, come to find out, it's served as a sandwich on a buttered
Yeah, you see, like that is also a traditional thing. Biscuits can be used in a savory and sweet way. Like there's a lot of meat that you can put inside.
biscuit traditionally.
D.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a D. Like, if I had to eat it, I would eat it and not hate it, but only if I had to eat it.
Oh my god, I'm shocked. A D tier? I'm not shocked. Number 23, Iowa, which is the Iowa chop. It's just a pork porterhouse. I don't know how Iowa is allowed to claim this. That's all it is. You sear it, you flip it, maybe you baste it with some butter, fresh thyme, rosemary, bay leaf, and let it rest. It's gonna be good, I mean, but it's just a pork chop. Before we taste this, please understand. I know some Iowas, whatever they're called, I don't know, I'm sorry, also voted for pork tenderloin sandwich. Unfortunately, that was way outvoted for Indiana, which we'll talk about next. But first, let's taste test Iowa.
It's a pork chop. I give it a C.
It's a C as well.
I agree with that.
A C tier. So moving on to number 24, Indiana, which is, yes, the pork tenderloin sandwich. Listen, Iowa, before you get mad, we can pretend that you also got this too. This item got votes on both of these states, which is quite literally bottom bun, yellow mustard, massive, like comedically large piece of fried pork, raw onion, mustard on top bun, lit it, and eat it. I know this looks like a joke, Google it, it's a real thing.
I think it's a fun eating experience, actually, because, like, you could nibble on the outside and get just pork, and then nibble on the inside, get a sandwich.
It's a good sandwich.
It's a good sandwich. The best version of this sandwich would get a B.
Alaska smoked salmon spread is next. Start by mixing cream cheese and salmon, add some sliced chives, broom-washed shallot, season with Tabasco, or sherd, and lemon juice, a little salt. Pack that into a ramekin beautifully. Maybe some little crostinis.
This is a really good snack. To me, it's not like a top meal out of 50 states. It's an A for me.
That's absolutely beautiful.
Even if you separate this from the dip and you just call it salmon, salmon is an incredible thing. And it comes from Alaska. One of the most amazing ingredients in the world, and in this form, it's incredible. I think just because of the significance, I gotta give it an S. I would take away an S from another dish, so this could also be S.
I would take cheese curds off for this.
There are other things that are like cheese curds. There's nothing like this. This is an irreplaceable thing.
A mind-boggling listing at S tier? So sorry, but Wisconsin gets demoted to an A tier. We had a general consensus
That's kind
decision
of
to go
addictive.
ahead and demote it. Wisconsin, I'm sorry. Number 26, Michigan, the pasty. It's a weird name. It reminds me a lot of English baked pastry, and that's what this is. It's a baked pastry filled with beef, veggies. It looks like it could be good.
Whoa, okay. Super crispy and tender on the outside. It's buttery, it's flaky. It's kind of like all the elements of a great hand pie, but it's savory.
I give it an A for all those reasons.
I would go with an A also.
Where's this from, Michigan?
Specifically, the Upper Peninsula.
Upper Peninsula, shout out. That's a solid A.
That comes out at an A tier. Number 27, Colorado. Pork chili verde stew. This seems like a really interesting choice for Colorado. Hatch chilies roasted, poblanos, tomatillo, some lime simmered nice and low and slow.
That's great.
That's great.
That's really good.
That's an S for me.
That's an S for me.
I'm guessing person would be weirded out by that because, you know, it looks awful. Well, you know, people like different
I have to
things.
think. I don't know. I don't know if I want to give it an S. I feel like I could only eat so much of it until I'm like, I'm done. I'm giving it an A. But I'm
Well, is it true, person? Do you think it looks bad or do you think it looks good? Like, yeah, you're not a fan of, you do like the way it looks or you don't? Because I remember one time when I was watching another video that you were like, it looks like it looks like sick, and I'm like, okay, it's something that should be good because it's basically got, like, you know, green chilies and, you know, stuff like that. But, you know, what you think something looks like is important, because if it looks like, you know, something you find disgusting, it can be very difficult to try it, even if it has it's great in every other aspect. We do take in our food with our eyes and smell. Although this dish probably smells amazing, but yeah, there's no need to feel like bad about that. You don't need to. I mean, oh wait, no, I mean, shame on you, person. Let's all humiliate person. They have different tastes than my own. Indeed. How dare you, person? I'm going to cancel you with the weight of my, you know, 54 other followers. Considering most of them are people who just followed me and then just, I don't think they watch my videos. I think if we actually include the people who are actually active onto my channel, and this is me doing some ego boosting, I'd say maybe at most 20 people. And of those 20 people, like 3 of them are out, or well, 4 of them are are active more often. The others are more once in a while. Which, hey, you know, that's fine. Certain people followed me because I was doing different content, and they're not unfollowing me because they want to. They're wondering when I'll go back to doing that type of content. But anyway.
28, Maine, the lobster roll. We all love a good lobster roll. This is a legendary sandwich, roll, hot dog. What is this? Toasted split top bun, mandatory. In goes our lobster, which was heated gently in butter. Add a little bit of chives, maybe some lemon. Now let's taste.
It's a regional specialty, and I think specialties have a really high place on its.
And he's doing the Connecticut one, not the actual Maine lobster roll. Actually, let me see if people comment on that. He's banned from going to Wisconsin until the cheese curds, the chopped mozzarella sticks. How dare you forget we make cheddar ones. I want an S-tier showdown where you invite a chef from each state and have them all create their state foods. The best food wins. I am from America? No. Did I watch this whole thing with the same interest as someone who is from America? Yes, absolutely. Great video. You should do this with European countries. That would be freaking awesome. And our project with the full spectrum would be so amazing. But what would be British food? Would it be, would it be fish and chips, or would it be chicken tikka masala? Let's see. My burgers, Joshua Prawns. Pasty, like pasties. Yes, of course. Oklahoma. Say in Connecticut they could train people they could train people in New York and said that New York style pizza is the worst form pizza there is. I don't know, that's weird. But yeah, fish and chips is good. But I also heard that apparently chicken tikka masala is the official dish, like the national dish. Which, I don't know, it could have been replaced by fish and chips lately, but also, lately, I mean, the last time I looked was like over 10 years ago. God.
Tier list. This
I'm
lives up to the
old.
hype. I'm gonna give it an A.
I'm also gonna give it an A.
It's big hunks of lobster in a roll, and it tastes good. I'm gonna give it a solid.
Well, it depends on the version and quality of it. But it's also the same with fish and chips. If you go to like a place where, hey, we're using old, low quality fish, we're using a crummy batter, and we're giving you some old, soggy fries that we cooked yesterday and didn't properly refrigerate, then yes, that's horrible. But if you use really good fish and chips, like where it's like, I'm using fresh cod and I'm double frying really good potatoes to make these wonderful chips, then it's outstanding. It's the same thing with the Indian, with like chicken tikka masala. If you go to a place where it's like, we're going to skimp out on the seasonings and we're going to be using we're going to be quickly cooking the chicken and not actually doing it in a tandoor. But if you go to a place where it's like, oh, we get high quality chicken, we marinate our chicken and then we put it in a tandoor oven and we cook it so it's roasted and nice, and then we we make the sauce and then we finish cooking the chicken in the sauce, then it's just like, yes, this dish is outstanding as well. Which that's not fair for either of them, because in all honesty, most of both of those dishes is somewhere in between. Although for some people, just they don't want to have too many seasonings. So I'm somebody who loves Indian food, so I'm the wrong person to be unbiased. I'm not saying like fish and chips can't be good. It absolutely is. The fastest way to lose one of my most loyal followers go like, fish and chips isn't good. It's like immediate unsubscribe. Moon follows. It's like, no, don't leave. You're the only real form of engagement other than Anne. And Anne is in a completely different time zone. That's not saying anything bad about Anne. Like, I enjoy Anne's company, too. And Moon's, too, even though Moon doesn't say much. Still appreciate you being there, Moon. But, I'm much better when I have someone I'm engaging with, and asking Anne to engage with me regularly is hard, considering when I'm going to sleep, she's just waking up normally. That's unreasonable. It's like, okay, Anne, you need to set your time completely around me. You must do it. It is your only choice, don't you know? Yeah, whatever. You're a moderator for someone else. Don't you know how important you are to my channel? It's a toxic VTuber, generic fool's test, trying to harass his female fans into engaging more for content. Like, just no. But yeah. Sorry about that.
A. We have an A tier. Number 29.
I think the Maine style, rather than Connecticut style, lobster roll is better. Which sounds well. Actually, I don't know if you like lobster. I can't remember. Did you say you did not like shellfish? I think you told me you did not like shellfish, but I think you also said you've never tried lobster. Lobster is pretty good, but it's hard to cook right. It's one of those things where if you miscook a lobster, it's tough. But if you cook it right, it's nice, it's delicate, it's got a wonderful flavor. And, you know, it's got like that big meaty tail. And, you know, all things considered, what you can actually eat on a lobster is very small. You basically eat the tail and the arms. And that's it. Because the legs are so small that they don't contain much meat. And then you don't eat what's in the head. And you don't, unlike with shrimp or crawfish, you don't suck the head. But whatever.
Connecticut,
Sorry.
which they call this New Haven pizza, but they.
Damn it! I couldn't get away with making this video without making an innuendo. I was like, okay, will I go a video without making like hundreds of innuendos? I've already made one. I failed.
They also pronounce it abits. I don't know what's going on in Connecticut. So we added a slightly more tart sauce, a little bit of pecorino romano, olive oil. It's very, very, very light on the cheese. Look, we're cooking this in a super hot Gosney dome to mimic.
Because this is not true. Oh, hello. Thanks for rating me, Deep Train. Ah. Thank you so much for coming by. I feel a bit like bad since you came during a sort of low energy stream. Hi, Ann. Oh. Hey, welcome, Ann. I'm glad you came by. We're talking about different American states. I traumatized person earlier because it's like, oh, hey, this is an iconic Maryland, not Maryland, state food, biscuits with chocolate gravy. And it's just like, person thought that I was literally like, okay, so you take, like, you know, your British style or Australian style biscuits and just dump gravy onto it. Which is not the case at all. I had to explain American style biscuits. Oh, am I being rated by a group of Aussies? American style biscuits are not like cookies or, you know, like Australian biscuits. Oh, okay. Well, learning about foods from different states can be sort of interesting. Don't get me wrong, there are certain staples in all American states, like pizza, burgers, french fries, stuff like that. But then there are some things which are just sort of like, what the fuck is that? America. America. Fuck yeah. But yeah, just... I'm alright. Yeah, thank you so much for rating. It's a low as I said earlier, it's like a low energy stream, and you know, I always get rated during the streams where I'm just like, oh, I'm doing the most boring of content, and then, or like I'm out of energy and stuff like that, and it's just like, I've gotten rated by, I guess it was like 20 people one time, and then I was just like, oh god, but at the same time it was during the Demon Slayer stream where person was kicking my butt and I basically hadn't slept in 2 days. So I was like, and like, oh my god, there's 20 people. I need to be entertaining. And then it's, of course, you know, when you're trying to have energy, when you have no energy, it's just like, Well, I appreciate you coming over, Nemo. But yeah. Yeah. And then, of course, it's just like, I mean, you came with somebody who knows me, so I'm like, oh no. Did you come because Anne recommended me? Now I need to try to especially be entertaining. It's just like... And then sometimes when you're like at low energy and you're trying to say funny things, you're not thinking about what you say, and it's just like... so you're the one who she's a mod for. I've heard good things about you. And it's great to meet you, so to speak. How could you, Anne? When I have no energy. But yeah. Alright. Yeah. Queen, yes. Oh, blame Anne. Sorry. Ali Ann. I'm sorry, call her Anne. But yeah. Anne has a weird tendency to come in my streams during absolute weird moments. Somebody either asks something and then I go into a weird tangent. And then all of a sudden it turns into things. Like, I was playing Subnautica Below Zero. There's a suit called the Water Reclamation Suit, which, you know, is just, the description is, oh, you know, it uses moisture from your body to, you know, filter that water and then make it drinkable. And then literally as I was describing that, it's like, so you're basically drinking your sweat and pee. And comes in and is like, what in the world are you talking about? And I'm just like, yes, I see. There are other things too, but out of context, they are, well, okay, even in context, they were really, really bad. Yes, just, you know, just, when you're combining ADHD, Asperger's syndrome, and being tired, that's, yes, indeed. And then, of course, it was yesterday's stream where I forgot my father came in to my place, and I was literally just talking about it like, oh yeah, you drink your pee, basically, and like, you know, just to say it to be silly, and then I realized, wait a second, my father's downstairs, and he can hear every word I'm saying. Yes, okay, yes, thank you, Anne, thank you so much for bringing up that. Well, my father's not here to hear me say Dick Master, so at least there's that. Yes, you see, some of my followers make bracelets, which is a fun and artistic hobby. But you see, one day they asked me like, "Oh, I made 2 bracelets, and I want to give one to my another follower who's a friend of mine." And, you know, I'm sorry, person. Anne brought it up this time. There is no escape from your past mistakes. You will... Well, first of all, this is probably going to become my nickname because of how often it was brought up in yesterday's stream. But either way, she was like, okay, so the bracelets have, like, Danger Tits as one of them, and the other one is Dick Master. And I'm like... Well, why are you asking me to tell you which? It's like, yeah, it's like I don't know if I feel comfortable with this. I am much older than both of them, and they are at the age point where I could potentially be their dad. So telling them, she's like, which one should I keep and which one should I give to Moon? Should I give Danger Tits? Should I keep Danger Tits or should I give Dick Master to them? It's like, I don't feel comfortable telling either of you which one should get danger tits. Or Dick Master. I don't feel comfortable saying it on stream, but I said like 20 times yesterday. And my dad probably heard it, but he just didn't want to say it. And on top of that, there was a handyman at my place too, so he probably heard it. But yeah. Thanks for coming by. I really appreciate all of you. Yeah. Thank you, Queen Taipan, and thank you, Deception. I really appreciate everything. Good luck at the gym. I hope you get some good gains. God, I sound like a cringy old man. Oh wait, I have back problems, memory problems, and I'm tired all the time. Very clearly, I am an old man. And thanks for the follow. Well, person, you never know what will become a joke and what won't. But yeah. Still, I'm just covering various things from here, and some of the fun things are, I guess, from that person reacted to was, first of all, the first thing that horrified her, spam masubi, which is, oh yeah, but I also tease I tease everyone for their typos, but I misspeak probably more than everyone here. It's, like a Freudian slip when you say one thing and then you mean your mother. Oh no. I said the old psychology joke. But yes. Spam masubi is basically, just basically spam sushi, which is a Hawaiian thing. Which, of course, person's like, what? Which, to be fair, most people who aren't from Hawaii and don't like spam are like, what the hell, though? And then, of course, we got into the actual, where is it? Biscuits and chocolate gravy. Isn't that great? It happens. There are times where your brain just stops functioning and you'll, forget things like, oh, I forgot what the first letter of the alphabet is. It's like, wait a second, that's A. My name has 2 A's in it. Why can I forget that? Just being tired or just stressed can lead you to forget key, vital, obvious information. If you don't feel comfortable calling me fool, by the way, you can just call me Adam. Adam, a real person. Adam, not a real person. Not my middle name, as you can clearly tell. But yes. Has An told you that I apply to V Shoujo? Obviously, I did not get picked in the selection process. Yeah. Well. No, it's yes. Well, I feel most people don't feel comfortable calling me fool. One of my followers called me generic because that was it. Like, yes, mem. But I forgot that generic's literally the first part of my username. So when he called me generic, I was like, am I really that boring? And I was like, oh wait, I picked that in my name. Yes, mem. Oh yes, and then we actually got into the terror that is Scrapple. Wait, where is it? Scrapple! Behold! Thankfully, they didn't say what goes into Scrapple. The horrors. I am somebody who enjoys trying new things, and I like eating food, as if you can't tell. But Scrapple is yes. well, yeah. I've made when I have to make accounts for social media in the past for video for like, you know, certain games because they want to mine my data, I'll make accounts like Jennifer Erickson, as you know, like generic. And of course it works because I tried doing stuff like, you know, John Doe, but they are like, hey, John Doe's not a real person. But you know, it's just like, okay, fine, I'm Jennifer Erickson. It's just like, oh, okay, hey, Jen, do you remember going to school with this person? Like, no, I do not remember going to person with that. Yes. I'll have to use that again if I do it. I did not think of that one. But yes. I don't know if there's been anything on this list so far which has not, like, you know, weirded out like person. Person usually, yes. Yes, John Buck. And I don't know, just insert many different things. But some stuff on here is sort of interesting, and then other stuff is just kind of like, they're like, look at this pork chop sandwich. Yeah, it's John Buck. Okay, and that reminded me of something that was sort of dumb. Have any of you seen Kill Bill? The movie? Oh. Okay, well, never mind then. There's a creepy part in the movie. It's a... Actually, the movie... There's a scene in the movie where there's this guy... Well, the main character ends in a coma for a long time. And... Basically... The guy who's watching over her is a creep. And basically goes like, my name is Buck, and I like to... In the one part of this, you know... things before she wakes up, and then she's basically like, oh, she wakes up and of course, you know, gets revenge on him and all this other stuff. But in the censored version, they decided to change it, so it's like, my name is Buck and I like to party, and it's just like, you know, if you were going to change that, you could have changed his name to Marty, and then that would have been a lot more interesting. It's like, my name is Marty and I like to party! Because, you know, just saying it like that, it's just like, my name is Buck and I like to party! It's like, what the heck? What are you doing? It's the PG-13 edits of, you know, rated R movies. Oh, yes. Yes, indeed, you will never enjoy that movie again. That movie, which... Well, actually, I haven't actually seen the second part of it. It's not bad. Yeah. Well, I heard a comedian basically say it, because I haven't watched it, but the comedian, from what I read, a comedian saying it's just sort of hilarious and sort of weird, and like, why? Why are you keeping that? But yeah. So we were covering that now. Where did we end? We had just done pork chili verde. And, you know, person was also horrified by that. I mean, for me, I'm familiar with, like, you know, green chili stew. Ah, yes. It's, yeah. Well, you're going to anger all the people from that state, person. It's, yes, it does look like Chunky's sick in a stew. And I'm sorry about that, but it probably tastes a lot better and smells pretty good. It's just, well, actually, they seem to like it. Oh wait, no, that was the lobster roll. We had done the lobster roll, and then we were on the New Haven style pizza. Well, you know, there are certain dishes which look like slop, but taste amazing. And there are also some dishes which look like, oh my god, this dish looks so amazing, it's gotta be great. And then you try it and it's like, man, this tastes boring as hell. And I was basically saying if I wanted to lose person as a follower, I'd say stuff like, an example of that would be fish and chips. All of a sudden, like a British person warps behind me and I'm just killed. It's like, yeah, no. Person, this is America. You can't win against us. There are too many guns. There are more guns than people in this state. I mean, in this country. But yeah, no, fish and chips is good. I'm just saying that to antagonize the British. But yeah, let's see. So yeah, the New Haven style pizza. The problem with what they did there is, New Haven style pizza gets its taste from being cooked on a coal fire. So if you're not using a coal fire, you're kind of like losing a key seasoning element to it. But yeah. And I'm sorry, I don't know. I didn't check my messages in the morning, so I didn't respond. See if you responded to my message, or I don't know if you need to or anything. But yeah, I'll try responding to that later. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure it was not, you know, it's not due to me being lazy or not caring. It's just basically I woke up late and I wanted to try streaming these two things before. Oh, I'm probably not going to have time to stream the other one. The other one you would have probably liked more, or, well, the other one is for breakfast foods. And they have this one thing on there which has, oh my god, it has the worst name possible. Like, it is like, who the fuck names food this thing? And they're all like, no, I don't think I would like to try that thing with that name. And then they try it and they're like, oh my god, this is actually amazing. You'll have to find out tomorrow. It's a breakfast item. But it blew them out of the water, and it was basically given almost perfect rankings. But yeah, it's, let's see, I'm just going to skip the New Haven pizza. Oh, look, it's gumbo from New Orleans. Or New Orleans, rather. Yeah. Yes, I am. I've got to milk this content. I mean, I don't have time to really show everything. Well, it's technically a reaction stream, although unlike normal reaction streams where, you know, it's the person watching who, or it's the streamer who's reacting to the content. I'm doing this to get reactions from my followers. And, you know, and also describe some things if they have questions. So, yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, I figure, and even then, like, for you, it's a lot later than for me. For me, I woke up like an hour ago. Because for once, I actually woke up with my alarm and not due to some other thing. But yeah, it's like almost 7 for you. And so, like, that's not going to really, yeah. I have a world clock set to UK and to Australian time. Yes, I am. I'm an old man. Leave me alone. I'm stuck in my ways. Oh yeah, that's... What? You're not dedicating your entire life to me, Anne? Oh, I can't stand it. How could you possibly make it so that other people matter than me? You're making your real life matter than some streamer with only a few followers? Oh, how could you? You're breaking my heart, Anne. Don't bother coming back again. Oh. No, well, whatever. Just like, it's fine. Just because I stream almost every single day doesn't mean that I expect my followers to come on. Most streamers only stream like, once every few days. And I mean, due to like, the injuries I've had to cut back on the amount of work I do. And I'm streaming every day because being by myself and not doing anything productive for hours on end basically leaves me to get depressed. And also, so streaming has helped a lot, though now the problem is when I don't stream, now I get even more depressed than I was before, because it's like, hey, I was talking to people recently. Now you're not. You're all alone. You're going to die alone. You're going to be alone forever. You will never amount to anything. And then it's just like, Jesus Christ! I'm trying to sleep! Stop it, brain! Stop it now! It's like the people who follow you are only doing it out of pity. They're saying nice things because they want to sound... It's just like, yeah, it's just like, my God! My brain is not my friend. Yeah, I know, but still, I still feel some anxiety about using Discord. As I said, like, well, I guess there might be somebody or two people here who don't know, but due to being sort of betrayed in the past, I'm hesitant. I do want to give you my Discord, but still, as I said, like, yeah, I do want to. Stop doing it! I feel the urge to do it every time I see that, and it's just like, spam the popping noise! And then people who, YouTube can't see my chat, and so every time it's just like, is he having a stroke? Is he going crazy? Is there something wrong with him? Oh my God, somebody who was watching his left. No! Stop with the popping! That's just the rest of the stream now. This is my life now. Okay, I'll clap with one hand instead. Alright, whatever. That didn't sound quite as good. Playing the video again.
We're using my color recipe.
Yes,
I do mix land and sea. I know people say that's a no-no. Look, I've talked to a lot of my Cajun friends. I have yet to see them not mix land and sea. Maybe they're lying, maybe it's wrong, maybe their comments are getting crazy. Look, it is what it is. I still think this is the daddy of all soups and stews. It gets ladled nice and hot.
What I do for content.
Scoop of rice in the center, garnished with some green onion, maybe some chopped parsley.
I'm going on the A route, but I can see it being an S. It's very good.
I give it an S. It's just such a well-balanced dish.
Out of all the most influential things that exist in food today, this is an S.
Louisiana joins the ranks of S tier. Number 32, Mississippi, which is just fried catfish with comeback sauce. It's not that crazy. It's literally just deep fried catfish, mayo-based sauce.
Yes, indeed. Deep fried catfish. Surprising. Somebody comes in and is just like, why are there all the popping noises? Why is this guy popping? YouTube doesn't see chat, so all they know is just like, well, you don't need to do the popping sound. Stop it. I feel like I'm going to be known as either the weird popping guy or as the dick master guy. I don't know if I want to be known by either. I thought we were done. Okay, I'm going to try and focus on. I can't. I'm trying to do a pattern or a tune to do it, but I can't. I don't have the skill to do it. I'm going to try to do Let It Go in popping form, but I don't know the actual tune to Let It Go, so that kind of failed early in the... Yes. Yes, indeed. Oh, so what's this? You want me to become an ASMR channel? So you want me to start saying things like, well, hello, kitten, or, you know, just start talking in this voice all day long. Like, hi, this is Popping Dick Master. Yes, that sounds really bad. Like either that... Wait, that just sounds like my dick explodes in the not fun way. Oh no. Oh god. Ah! Ah! Oh, I'm sorry. Just like, I was just having my name happen. Oh no. It's, oh god, it's everywhere. I'm going to need to clean up. Oh Jesus. No. I think I need to go to the hospital. Oh god. No. American healthcare is going to ruin my life. Because, you know, like, well, you see, in the American healthcare system. All right, fine, Anne. You don't like my voice? I was just going to talk about how in the American healthcare system, they have a system where you can get, it's like, oh, hey, all we did is apply a single store-bought Band-Aid that costs 25 cents to your arm, but that'll incur a $100 surcharge. Yes. Well, yeah, because you know you're not used to that type of thing. Some people would be like, yes, do only ASMR. Like, or, you know, when I'm like, ooh, ooh, oh, whoa, what's this? No. Oh god, I don't know. Does the woo speak sound worse when you're doing it in a deep voice? Or does it sound worse when I'm actually trying to go like, ooh, woo, oh, whoa? Oh god, no, oh, no, that feels like I'm dying inside. Oh god, no. My body is rejecting that. Ow, no, Jesus. I don't know. Yeah. What about a feet channel? Just showing my feet all the day long. No, don't, please, no. Please don't clip my cringe. Yeah. For those who don't know, and for the YouTube, I randomly had a friend tell me that apparently my feet are attractive and that I should post pictures. Please no more ooh speak. I don't wanna, no. No! I guess maybe later, but not now. We have repelled Anne. I'm not sure I'm happy about that. I'm sorry. Oh my. Yeah. I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad for Queen Taipan for like following, and thanks for having the raid and convincing people to raid me. Really appreciate it. Sorry I was a bit lethargic or a bit weird. Okay, I'm more than a little bit weird. I don't want to lie. But yeah. I don't know. One of the reasons why it took me so long to start streaming again, or start streaming in general, is because I don't know really what I want to focus on. I mean, now I've started focusing on certain things, but some people said I should probably focus on doing, intellectual content where I just discuss various things or, debate with people. And then other people were just like, just do silly dick jokes all along in funny voices and loud noises, yeah. Which, that's, I don't know. Depending on how I feel, I sometimes I like to be a silly, dramatic bitch, like, oh my god. But then, sometimes I feel like I want to have serious conversations or discuss serious topics. And the problem is, if I go too far into one category, then, the people who like me being a silly person who makes loud noises and say silly things don't want to hear me suddenly go, well, yes, indeed, let me talk about this one subject. Did you know that, I don't know. I'm trying to come up with a topic off the top of my head while trying to avoid all the easy topics that I can use to just, traumatize people is hard. I could have gone on a topic, but I would have probably ended up saying something that would have been like, why are you talking about this in the morning? Or for Anne, it'd be in the evening. I don't want you to traumatize me. I don't want to have nightmares about this subject. Jesus, come on. But, trying to figure out a proper balance, I guess, is good. Because at the same time, I like trying to do different things. Says the person who's been doing Subnautica every day for 2 streams in the morning and evening. But yeah, I like doing different things. It's just also I tend to obsess over things too. So after I beat below 0, I'm going to be going into 40k for the Emperor. Brother, I am pinned here. Ah, a warp spider. Yes, I have officially said the meme 40k comments. Warhammer 40k is an interesting setting. This is supposed to be a video of me reacting and showing people food, and I'm supposed to be covering 2 videos, and I don't even know if I'll have time to cover this one. This stream has been going on for over an hour, and this video is 33 minutes. Jesus. Ah, yes. So, this is the Cubano sandwich. In Spanish, it is referred to as a mixto due to the various meats. A Cuban sandwich is pretty tasty.
Butter, the top is the most voted for. You gotta get the right Cuban bread. Mustard and pickle to your bread.
Not again!
Cheese, ham, slow-cooked mojo pork shoulder. More cheese. Butter the tops of the sandwich. And you cook it in a sandwich press until it's super flat, ultra crispy, melty, delicious, sliced at a diabolical bias.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it an A. That was excellent. That's better than most Cubanos that I've had in Miami, and I'm gonna get dragged for that.
It's an A-tier sandwich, but over all the dishes, I'd say it's a B.
I'll give it a B.
It's an incredible sandwich, and it's definitely worth making a trip to Florida, but after 33 plates, it just didn't hit as hard as usual.
I mean, that's a problem with doing something like this all in one sitting. Like at the start, you're a lot more willing to give things a chance, and by the end of it, you're like, well, I could just cover up chat, and then I wouldn't see any of the popping sounds. However, I think the only thing people really like about me now is currently my engagement with chat. But yes. Well, yes. Well, I won't see popping noises. Oh, wait. What did I do? But yeah. Can you imagine trying, 50 different dishes in one sitting, even if you're only taking a bite of each thing and then going I need to rate every single thing, and it's just like, okay, this is really for. Especially when some of them are like, you know, like Scrapple. Indeed.
Number 34, Massachusetts clam chowder, also known as.
This one does kind of look bad, but you know it's good. It tastes good. It looks bad.
New England clam chowder. This is an OG one. It's creamy, it's sweet, garnished with crispy chopped bacon, parsley, cracked pepper. It is actually one of my favorite soups. It deserves more love, but only one way to find out how much love.
I've never had clam chowder before.
Really?
I'm excited, yeah.
It's gotta be an S.
I think it does too.
That's just a classic.
It's so good.
It's so good.
It's fire.
I'm gonna go A. I feel like we're just kind of throwing S's around.
In the soup liquid world, is chicken soup above this?
Gumbo's above this.
Regardless of Vikram's opinion, the S's have it.
Okay.
Number 35, Kentucky hot brown. This looks like a
Ah, yes, the open-faced hot brown sandwich. I only ever hear about this when people talk about food from Kentucky.
demonic creature that would emerge from the magical wardrobe in a fantasy movie. And this recipe comes directly from the place that invented it, the Brown Hotel. So that's where the hot brown comes from. Thought it was another reference. It's slices of bread in a pan arranged like this. And
Yes, it might look like it's named after something else, but it's named after the Brown Hotel in Kentucky, where the sandwich was originally made.
halves of raw tomato. Add a thick single slice of turkey. Cover with a Mornay sauce, cheese sauce. Sprinkle of pecorino cheese, and you blast it in the broiler, pull it out, and well, I mean, it is hot and sort of brown. Top with bacon, and garnish with paprika and parsley.
How do you eat this?
The cheese melts really well with the turkey. If you saw that on like a sandwich, it'd be a really good sandwich.
Why can't they just make this a sandwich?
It tastes good,
It does taste good.
but it's a mess.
I'm gonna give that a C.
I'm gonna give it a C as well.
I'm gonna give it a C also.
That's an easy C.
If you have to eat a sandwich with a fork and a knife, it is no longer a sandwich, in my opinion.
Number 36, Idaho. You would think potatoes? Well, guess what was voted for? Battered steak fingers. I don't like the way that these look. It's essentially like a tempura battered piece of steak that gets deep fried.
I just farted, so if you smell that, I'm so sorry.
Oh god, dude, that's bad.
We didn't even eat the steak fingers yet.
Supposedly, this is the recipe that comes from the place
Oh,
that
yes.
created the Idaho steak finger. What I
The
don't
white
like
man
about it
ruining
is
everything.
Batter and
That's not me trying to be a modern, like, you know, weirdo going like, white man are the problem. No, his literal name is Joshua Weissmen. Weiss is white in German, I believe. So literally, his actual name is Joshua Whiteman. So I'm just referring to him by what the meaning of his last name.
I just don't think that that's gonna do well with steak.
Oh, floppy.
Batter
Yes,
aside,
indeed.
this steak is so well done. I don't know how frying this was gonna make it any better. I'm gonna go with an F for this.
I'm gonna give this a solid F. I'm really sorry, Idaho. Maybe lead with a potato dish next time.
Now we're moving to the Midwest to try P-Rock from Kansas for number 37 and Runza from Nebraska for number 38. That's
Oh,
2
yes.
for 1. They're both very similar, with beef and cabbage-filled pastry pockets. But the big difference is that Kansas P-Rock is just straight cooked cabbage, and the Nebraska Runza is sauerkraut.
Kansas, B-Rock.
Oh,
I've
yes.
never heard of this. Really reminds me of like a kolache or a klobasnik. I mean, it's good. Not a lot going on. This feels very necessity food. Like, this is all you got. I'm gonna give it a C.
I'll go C as well.
C. Could be better.
Well, a lot of this
Kansas,
stuff was
C.
necessity.
Now
food
let's see how
in
the
past.
Nebraska Runza fares.
I'm not about the sauerkraut. That's why I'd give it a C.
The acidity. Really like that. It's a slight step up from Kansas, but
Also, there are just certain foods which, like, you know, do you like sauerkraut? That dish will be good. Do you hate sauerkraut with every fiber of your being? Then eating a sauerkraut-centric dish is a bad idea. It's like, oh, you have to eat this special dish with a peanut butter sauce. I'm allergic to peanuts. And it's just like, yeah, no, you can't eat that. You're going to misjudge it. Or like, oh, you have to judge this Maine lobster roll. I'm allergic to shellfish. Or, you know, if it's just like, or for the, like, you know, for the other thing, the lobster is like, oh, you have to try lobsters. Ew, lobsters look like bugs. They are bugs. They are, like insects, taste like shellfish. The only difference is the shell. Because they're technically related. Just a long, long time ago. And technically, by that same standard, you're related to a bug. We share a common ancestor. A long time ago. But we do share a common ancestor.
But it's very
We even share a common ancestor with bananas too, apparently, which is. We apparently also share a lot of DNA with bananas. Well, the thing is, that far back, like everything has a single common ancestor. Like, it's just sort of crazy. But yeah.
Similar, so I'll give it a B.
I agree. I'll go with a B also.
We're going with B.
Number 39, Georgia. A place plentiful of incredible food. Georgia
Yes.
with lemon pepper wet wings. This uses my lemon pepper wet recipe. So we deep fried our wings. We tossed them beautifully in our sauce, garnished with a little
yes.
flaky salt. You know, it's nice.
I should rename this to the person trauma stream. It's really what I'm doing the entire time. Or the assault on person's mentality.
Easy S tier.
S.
Tangy, crispy, flavorful.
It's an ultimate wing.
After the second chew, my brain immediately went
S. S tier.
Georgia, you're always on my mind.
So we're gonna follow up a heavy hitter with another heavy hitter, number 40, New York pizza. This is a big contender. I mean, it's
Well, I heard
cheese,
that.
it's pepperoni sometimes, it's parm, red pepper flakes. It's an Italian-American icon. Has to be S tier.
I'm gonna go A. I have no complaints about a good New York slice.
I love New York pizza. I think it's nostalgic. I think it's special. I think it's one of a kind. And
Yeah, so I think it's time to go into the very horrible, mind-breaking parasites now. So, do you want to hear about the ones that are going to give you nightmares, or the ones that are going to ruin cats for you? I don't know. Either of them would be. Did I make up the last statement? Or am I trying to just mess with you? You'll never know.
New York, I get a slice. It's still a B.
I'm gonna give it a B
Yeah.
too. I think New York pizza is the worst form of pizza there is.
A shocking B tier.
Well, for New York pizza, there's, and sorry for transitioning immediately back into the food, but for New York pizza, there's actual New York style, and then there's a bunch of places all over the country where they're like, we're making New York pizza, when it's just generic American style. Generic American style pizza is not that great, but real New York pizza is great. Well, you know, if it's more popping sounds, then I'll try to release parasite information between the popping. Oh! Thank you, person. I get to spread my wings. So, the tongue eater louse. The tongue eater louse is a... what? So, the tongue eater... You know pill bugs. The tongue eater louse is a larger version of that pill bug. It goes inside the mouth of a fish, and then it bites down on the tongue to cut off circulation. The tongue necrotizes, or rather, it rots away. The bug eats it, and then it takes the place of the tongue. It's one of the few cases in nature where a parasite replaces an organ of an animal. And on top of that, the tongue-eater louse by itself is actually doesn't cause any detriment to the fish. But what does cause problem is, of course, as you know, the woke crowd would say, the males cause the problems because the males of the species infest the lungs of the fish that has the tongue-eater louse female replacing the tongue. And enough of these males will be placed in these gills to where the fish can have trouble breathing. Remember, I am the streamer. I started with the sort of like, you know, the lesser of the scary ones. Because I don't think you'd forgive me if I went further than that.
On to number 41, Montana Huckleberry Pie.
Huckleberry pie, yeah.
Flavor of a huckleberry.
This is just like pops of freshness. It's about a B. I'm not wowed.
In comparison to blueberry and blackberry, way more fun, way more diverse of a flavor, way like fruitier and rich and
There's a very big depth of flavor.
Oh, you want to talk about ear parasites? Okay, let's go into that now.
In this.
Actually, I don't know any, so don't worry. I don't know any. The only thing I know of is where there was this case where a man had a, well, you know, I'm not going to talk about that, so don't worry.
Pie.
I'm gonna give it an A.
I'm gonna give it an A also.
So we're gonna average out at a light A-tier pie.
Next up, number 42, Arizona's Sonoran Dog. Bacon wrapped, deep fried
I
hot dogs,
refuse.
really extraordinarily hot weather. It's, you know, sweaty match made in heaven, I guess.
We didn't have a Chicago dog in this video, but I'd do a Chicago dog over this one any day.
Yeah, me too.
I'd go B.
S tier.
What?
Yeah, that is the ultimate hot dog to me.
I'm gonna give that a solid C.
Wow.
I think this averages around a B tier.
Number 43, South Carolina shrimp grits. Oh, good old low country boil.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Really good.
I would almost go A. I'm gonna go B. It's very enjoyable, but there is definitely a ceiling. I think this is like probably the best version of it you can get.
Well, you know, it's not like I said any of the really seriously crazy stuff. I just said the, you know. I mean, I could have talked about the, well, no. There's a certain South American fish I could talk about, but I'm not going to. For those who watch this and know, it's the fish that you have to cut the thing like a banana to, you know, get it out.
It's close to an A, but it lives in the B.
I apologize for the trauma I called all the men in chat. I'm sorry.
Category.
I can go out and I can order shrimp grits and I'm gonna enjoy it, but it has a ceiling and therefore I'm gonna give it a B plus, but still a B.
Number 44, New Hampshire apple cider donuts. This apparently.
You don't even know what I'm talking about, person. You could never know.
It was the only dish New Hampshireans voted.
Because I refuse to go into more detail about it because, you know, it's just, yeah.
Cider donuts hold a special place in my heart, being from the Northeast. They're still not that great.
Here's the thing, I don't need to eat another one of these again, ever. They're great, they taste good. Just give me a normal donut and put cinnamon sugar on it and call it a day.
I'm gonna give it a C.
I mean, a C for being like decent, but nothing high.
So, apple cider donuts, what do you think about that? Ah, yes, the weird nightmare where we go back and forth between food and parasites. Now that the others are gone, I don't need to hold up my nice appearances. I can be as evil and degenerate as possible. Yeah, sorry about that.
I'm gonna give it a D for decent. So we're gonna average this out.
Is that last face supposed to be like a drool with the little asterisk at it? I didn't know the parasites made you hungry. Tasty, tasty parasites wriggling inside. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop with that now. That's I don't want to become known as the parasite guy. Maybe later, but not now. I spelled donuts weird. I didn't spell donuts on stream though, I just pronounced it. Now you see there are different dialects. Well, it depends. If people do donut to abbreviate it. It's an abbreviation of it. There are people who spell donuts the other way. Well, you know, person, when you are charged per letter, you have to shorten it. That's the reason why Americans get rid of a lot of letters. Americans gets rid of a lot of letters. No. No, you cannot. You can go Z in the corner. Well, I'll stick with Z here.
Out at C for New Hampshire.
Number 45, Maryland.
I stopped at Maryland, of course, unintentionally. My least favorite thing on this... well, okay, not least favorite. Scrapple exists. But yes. You and your British people are arguing z, 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 z. You go z, 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 z. That's the joke I stole from somebody. Which, you know, that's a lame joke. Frankly, almost everyone I know is in love with crab cakes, which makes it weird that I hate them. I love crab. I wish I had a crab in form which I didn't need to peel it from the shell. Crab cakes is one of the forms of that, and I find them gross. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe you should try them at some point. As I said... Oh, you remember? So you want more. Remember the deal I said earlier. Okay. So the parasitic wasp. I'm not going to cover the parasitic wasp. Don't. That is one thing that you don't want to do. Also, just so that you know, for other videos, I'm not going to do the same thing. You can do the popping things in other ones. Just I feel like we've done it a bit too much in this one stream. So you don't need to worry. You can do the popping other times. Just I think for this stream we have reached the quota. We have exceeded it. It's fun, but at the same time I don't want this video to just turn into pure popping noises. Also, now we're going to talk about the parasitic wasp on stream. They're a whole family that for most of their life they eat nectar and they pollinate stuff. But when they are trying to reproduce, that's when it enters war crime territory. Not going to say anything else. Because Jesus Christ, that's a rude way to eat.
Crab cake. I was just there recently to sign.
Also, weirdly enough, they can be actually quite pretty. This picture doesn't quite get it across. But, you know, oftentimes these, well, I'm not telling you what they do because that would be, and also this is just one species. They have often vibrant colors, and you can see their wings are also rather vibrant. I mean, also, behold, the inspiration for the Cazador from Fallout New Vegas. Yes, they actually existed. Oh, that's the... Oh, yeah.
And literal thousands of books, which, by the way, those signed copies are available now. You can click the link in the description to get one yourself. Now let's talk about these crab cakes with a wedge of lemon. They're very basic.
Some of them are emerald color, which is also rather pretty. But...
I have eaten a lot of disappointing crab cakes, so hopefully...
Well, you know, it's always good to put some amount of separation between that. You don't want to start developing a toxic relationship with me. Though technically me traumatizing you with information about things is a toxic relationship, so... Get away, person! You have to leave. I lulled you in with my fake politeness, and now I'm going to traumatize you with the weird bug facts. You have to escape while you can, person. You have to.
This is not another one for the list.
And it's like, please do something else, anything else. Being regular creepy is better than, you know, just mentioning parasite facts. Alright, well. Okay, joking aside. If I ever do make you actually feel really uncomfortable, and, you know, or make you feel like you're not safe, or I really start bugging you, please just tell me to to stop. And you know, and like I don't care if it's been like, even if you've been here for like a year or whatever. If I do something to make you feel actually like unsafe or actually uncomfortable, because I'm saying this because I've known people who basically try to, you know, rationalize things away from people being an actual jerk or actually abusive towards people. So for me, it's really, really important that even if there are some good times, if you feel like I'm belittling you or, you know, making you feel bad, please do just straight up tell me, like, it's not okay. If you don't feel comfortable saying it on stream, you can say it in a whisper. I don't always see the whisper. If you make a whisper and then tell me, I'll try to get to it, read it, and make sure that I cut it. Because, you know, I don't want to. Like, as I said, I appreciate you being here, but I'd also rather you, you know, one, take care of yourself, which, you know, that's why I don't. Also, I need to take care of myself too. So streaming too late's not good. But you shouldn't be like watching things at like 2 a.m. Once you're an adult and your brain's finished developing, but you know, I hate that. It's true that until you're 21, your brain doesn't stop developing. But even if it's true, it sounds like I'm belittling you, which is not the intent. But until you've reached the age of 21, your brain is still developing, and for that you need plenty of sleep, plenty of rest, and if you don't get enough sleep and rest during that time, it can lead to a number of health and psychological issues. Like, you can be more prone to depression, you can be, well, I don't want to turn this into a mental health stream. It's important, but this is supposed to be a fun video about American food, and so far it's been, you know, when I'm doing other things, I tend to go into food tangents. And then when I'm finally making a video dedicated to food, I'm going into nightmare tangents. But yeah, I'm sorry about that.
It's S tier.
I feel like we're learning a lot about America, but it's really hard trying to differentiate between an S and an A. You take one bite of this and you're like, exceptional. That goes beyond an A.
That's an S for me.
Dude, that's a whole
good-
ass. There's a whole crab in that cake.
That's a good crab cake.
S tier. Moving on, number 46.
I'm proud.
Pennsylvania.
I'm proud that Maryland got into S tier, but I'm not a fan of that dish.
Philly cheesesteak. We know about Philly cheesesteak. We traveled all the way to Philly to learn everything that we could. It should rank decently.
That's C tier. It's just an average sandwich.
I'm gonna give
Also, I think the roast pork should get more representation, which is supposedly the sandwich that Philadelphians eat more.
this a B.
Philly cheesesteaks are
And it's
good.
been a while since I brought it up.
And they can be made better by adding more cheese or better beef, but ultimately, it's always going to be capped at a good, nice, strong B.
Number 47, Oregon Marionberry pie.
Oregon. This is the most Oregon pie I can think of because it contains berries that were literally invented, apparently, in a college in Oregon. I don't like the texture of this. Good.
Yeah, I'm gonna go C. Just very average pie experience.
I'm also gonna give it a C. To me, this pie was pretty one note.
Pie crust is great. It's seasoned nicely. The sugar levels are good. But from a flavor perspective, because the only thing you're relying on is the Marionberry that's in here, it's a D. Just go get blueberries and call it a day. I'm
Lord,
sorry,
D's
Oregon.
nuts
You're
at
great.
that,
My
yeah.
wife loves you. That's a D pie.
Oh, that's the end of the stream.
Number
I
48,
just
Illinois. This was tough. The Italian
Yeah.
beef sandwich beat out Chicago hot dogs by 2 whole votes, and deep dish pizza by 1 vote. So I guess it's Mr. Beef time, baby. Shout out to Mr. Beef. We love each other, by the way. Big kisses. So you have thinly sliced roast beef heated in jus, placed in a roll, topped with a relish called jardinera. The whole sandwich is heavily dipped in the jus. Now let's rank.
Mr. Beef, if you're watching, I love you. Why don't you ever send me pictures like you used to?
Oh yeah.
What do you think I'm gonna say? It's how
Because you're married now, Josh. It's weird to get pictures from a male admirer when your wife can see them. I mean, come on, man. Gotta keep that on the down low.
Italian beef is what most people are gonna say is the top dish in Illinois, and I can stand by it being an S tier.
Vikram's from Illinois,
This is true.
so F.
I'm gonna give it an A. I would have rather had a Chicago dog.
There's literally no sandwich quite like an Italian beef. And at the right time, at the right hour, cold outside, you bite one, it's juicy, it's hot, it's fatty, it's like everything you want. There's nothing more you need in it. A gold star S tier rating.
S tier. Next, Vermont. The Maple Creamy. I have never heard of this, but I've also never thought of Vermont before.
So, person, do you want to have a maple creamy? God, that sounds dirty.
So thank you for voting for it. Using my soft serve custard, we cut.
At that moment, person's dad came in and basically heard the weird, creepy man online. And then it was just like, I think we need to call Child Protective Services. Or we need to call, like, the FBI. Crashes through my ceiling, blows up everything in my house. It's like, no! I was talking about some soft serve. Oh, God, this freak! And this weird, like, no, ice cream!
Down the eggs and the vanilla and
Very
added
good.
maple syrup. That's quite literally it. It's a very simple thing. Now let's taste.
We're sharing a cone together, because that's what men do. That is insanely good.
That is very good. I'm gonna go A because it was enjoyable. It blew my mind, but compared to 50 other things, I just call it a
And you actually managed to avoid all the weird conversations that we had while you were not around.
Great.
I got really. We did too much of the popping sounds, so I threatened person with parasite facts. Person persisted. I called her bet and did reveal a parasite fact. I've said it was because it just. Okay. Yes, indeed. So the parasitic wasp is. So you see, hawk wasps are parasitic wasps. They hunt specific things depending on the name. It will cover what it covers, like the tarantula hawk. The tarantula hawk hunts down. No, I'm not going to. I'm not going to cover the tarantula hawk moth. I'm not hawk moth. Hawk. There are hawk moths. Hawk moths are not parasites, though. They are predatory moths, which is a different thing. I'm not going to talk about the hawk. Well, because you had to suffer through it, I'll show Anne a hawk moth. Or to, oop, the tarantula hawk wasp. Behold, these are, I believe, an American thing. Like, I mean, look at this. And look how big it is on your hand. They apparently have one of the most painful stings in nature. And you see, this is one of them hunting a tarantula. Anne went away, I think. Anne has fled. She did the popping, was like, haha, now suffer person, and left. True friendship. But yeah, I'm not covering it. Oh, okay, well that's fine. Just like a true friend saying, I can't leave in here, and then they just go in there, release an absolute war crime of gas, and then say, have a nice day, and then run away. And then you silently contemplate murdering that person for the rest of the day while you violently try to get a fan. Did I say friend? I mean eternal enemy. Yes, eternal enemy. Yes, indeed. Person, you like moths, so I'll show you the hawk moth. Oh, there is also a character named Hawk Moth. That one looks silly. But yeah, as you can see, they look very different. And then they also have the hummingbird hawk moth, which, I mean, look at this thing. Oh, it's miraculous. But yeah, look at the hummingbird hawk moth. With its, it acts actually like a hummingbird. It's sort of weird to literally have a moth disguised as a hummingbird, considering, some people like certain things, some people don't. And then, they have this thing which is interesting. Some people find some bugs interesting, and then some people find some bugs really creepy. Like, and let's see if you like this one. Behold, the orchid mantis. Okay. Really? I think it has a nice, pretty color. Okay. Yeah. Like, it is one of the mantises that disguises itself. Yeah, it is a very lovely. And they also have like a white. Now, some mantises can be absolutely creepy. Oh, look at this one. He's like, "Mwah, fuck you. Mwah." But, this is like a baby. It is so small. And is that supposed to be like a... Yeah, this is a plush. I don't know. Is it funny that this one looks creepier than the real thing, in my opinion? Why is it that a plush toy looks creepier to me than the actual insect it's based off of? But yeah, and there's so many different, like, colors. Like, I mean, look at this. Do you even see where it is? I mean, of course, they're also like... It helps that, these things are really not that big. I do not think I have enough time to finish this video. I've been basically streaming for like 2 hours, and this has not gone well. Let's see.
Making a trip to try, but nothing more.
Coming in at an A tier. Finally, number 50,
Oh, no.
our last state, California, which is the Cali burrito. There were a lot of votes here, which beat out
Burrito!
In-N-Out. But did it deserve?
Why the hell would you pick In-N-Out as your state dish? It's something that it's fast food. Like, there are people who just have brain rot and are just like, the state dish is McDonald's. And it's just like, no, don't fucking say that. Oh, I guess, for the Aussies, it would be Macca's. Macca's is the national dish of Australia. God, I feel like I committed a war crime by saying that. It's like, and immediately unfollows. Yeah. Macca's is the only thing I slightly pronounced correct. Everything else mispronounced horribly. But yeah.
Making it is shockingly simple. Nice hot burrito-sized tortilla spread on some guac, sour cream, topped with a big load of crispy French fries. I know, it sounds weird. Carne asada. Add a green or a red salsa, Monterey Jack cheese. Roll it up nice and tight. Burrito rolling is not the easiest thing, but I know you can master it. And this is the secret. You must place it in a pan seam side down, medium heat, toast it. It
If you don't do it seam side down, it will explode on you.
will lock that burrito shut. Flip, toast the other side, and cut in half. That's the special thing we're looking at. Let's taste.
This feels like all the best elements you could put in a burrito, and for that, I'm giving it an S.
I'm gonna go S and agree with everything Vikram said.
Got the crunch from the French fries. It's creamy, cheesy, beefy. If it's done right, it is perfectly balanced. It doesn't need any more. It is where it should be. S tier.
California burrito S tier. You're goddamn.
Oh, the problem with French fry burritos are burritos that use crunchy elements inside. If you don't eat them immediately, the inside becomes soft. Like there's a small burrito at Taco Bell which uses like these spicy corn chips, which if you eat them when they're freshly made, it's nice. It has like the salty flavor of the chips with like seasoning, and they're nice and crunchy. But you know, if you eat them 5 minutes after that they've been made, then basically the chips, the taste, the flavor is there, but the chips have lost their integrity.
Right. But wait, who is really the best out of the S tier list? Only one way to find out.
It's time for the S tier rankings. We're gonna rate
Yes,
each
indeed.
and every S tier item from 1 to 10. 1 deserves to be on the S tier list, but
Yes.
maybe it's the least exciting, maybe the flavor isn't totally revolutionary. And 10 being, this is quite literally the greatest S tier item I've ever
He
eaten
looks
in
so
my life.
excited.
So let's begin.
First up, California Burrito. Vikram, 9. My score, 8.5. Cam, 2.
What the There's better burritos out there.
I disagree.
Just because there's fries on it doesn't mean it's top tier.
It feels like a combo of so many things that I love, right? Like shawarma, a burrito,
It's
fries in
time
it.
for
I'm also
me
from California,
to
and
start getting
extremely biased.
changed.
California burrito,
For
19.5.
work.
Next up, Arkansas biscuits with chocolate gravy.
Ah, yes.
Vikram, 5. My
Chocolate
score, 1.
covered
Cam, 1.
The fact that this even made it to the S tier list is probably
What the
biggest
fuck? They were so
accomplishment
emphatic
for
about it, and
Arkansas
then as
this
soon
year.
as the rating comes, it's just like
I
one,
liked it so
one,
much more than I thought I was
5,
and I'm
mid,
still upset
nah.
that it exists.
It's very inventive to me, as stupid as it is.
Like when-
Beat
if
a
you
chocolate
went
a
back
lot
and
of
saw
other
their
things,
actual
but
rating
this
of it, then
combination
it was
really hit for me.
so exciting! Oh my
Arkansas,
god!
7 points.
On to Alaska
It's
Salmon Dip.
amazing.
Vikram, 1. Mine, 5. Cam, 2.
What the guys?
It sort of
Tastes
gives me
incredible.
whiplash
There's not
sometimes
1
how
ounce of
crazy they'll
anything
go back
special
from
about
going
it.
like,
You get the
this is
essence
great.
and the enjoyment from the smoked salmon without having to eat loads of it, and it tastes great.
There are other smoked fish dips even
Uh,
in America that I
find
think
it
I would
all?
rather
What?
have. Like a smoked whitefish.
Alaska, 8 points.
Next up, Colorado pork dish with verde. Vikram, Jesus, a 7? A 3. You need a 9.5 or higher to take the lead. Cam, 3.
And this medium, just such a
Alright.
good way for green chili to come through. And it's one of the dishes where I'd actually go to the state and ask for that.
I would not go to the state and ask for it, because out of all the things that there are pork belly stew-wise, it's a 3.
It was amazing, but I can think of 3 different Mexican dishes that are adjacent to this dish that I would much rather have.
Green chili pork, 13 points.
Maryland crab cakes. Vikram, 7. Me, 6. Cam, 8.
It's the best way to eat crab, to me.
Crab cakes are just special, man. I'm from that area of the country. I would seek them out on menus as a child, and I don't think you
Yeah.
really see them too many other places.
I think they're a 6. I love them. But if I was given all
Yeah.
sorts of choices of the things that we ate today,
I don't
just
love
wouldn't
them.
grab them immediately.
Total 21, and our new leader is Maryland crab cakes. Massachusetts clam chowder.
Oh,
Vikram,
yes.
2. Me, 2. Cam, well, 4. Whoa, okay.
Oh no, I chowdered all inside of the bowl. Oh no.
One of my most favorite soups of
actually
all
pretty
time,
tasty,
just so
though.
you know. But there are at least 4 or 5 soups I can think of that are almost identical in flavor or borderline the same. It's not that special of a soup.
Funny enough, he says that. Today was my first time having clam chowder, but it tasted like I've had it before. That's why I'm giving it a 2.
I just love clam chowder.
Massachusetts with love, an 8.
Here comes a big one.
What the fuck is in
Louisiana
first place,
gumbo.
Maryland?
Vikram, a big 9. Mine, 7. This might take the lead. Cam, 6.
I don't want to eat gumbo when it's 115 degrees outside.
I didn't see it as a seasonal thing. All year round, I'd enjoy it. You can't really get a bad bite of gumbo, and that's why I ranked it so high.
It's very based off of so many different cultures that you can
Oh,
go around the world and find something similar to gumbo.
With 22 points, we have a new leader, but we have 3 big guns remaining.
Oh, no,
Georgia
Maryland's
coming in with
losing.
lemon pepper wet. Vikram an 8.5, mine a 6.5, and Cam gives us an 8.
Out of all the wings in the world, this is definitely one of the top ones for sure.
There's something special about this wing, but there's nothing special
Nah,
about wings.
I'm not huge.
I agree with that, but that's why I gave it a 6.5. Not revolutionary.
A new leader with 23 points. 2 more remaining. Italian beef. Vikram a 10. That's what I thought. A 7, and Cam comes in with a 7.
Out of all the sandwiches I've ever had, one of the few sandwiches that I'm like, this does not need and should never have cheese. It's just good on its own.
I think an Italian beef is one of the most well-balanced sandwiches you can eat.
It's the only
Oh yeah,
sandwich.
what were you trying to find at all? Sorry. Were you looking to the parasites to find out why I brought them up? Oh my. So interesting. Or wait, are you talking about clipping the stuff to make me look bad?
Like this that exists. What other sandwich
Oh, the mantis. Okay, yeah, makes sense.
is mostly liquid? It's inventive, it's
No, I
tangy,
just
it's
forgot.
sweet, and it's the top sandwich for me.
Illinois, 24 points.
A new leader. That only leaves one more. The Oklahoma fried onion burger. Here we go. Vikram, a 9. Mine, a 9. We need a 7 or higher to win this, and Cam has not been the nicest. And Cam comes in with a 7. We have a winner, the Oklahoma fried onion burger with 25 points.
I crave this item by itself.
It's an amazing burger, but did it reinvent the wheel? No.
Fair. Listen, it's America. There's nothing better than a burger. And this is definitely one of the top ways to make a burger. You just can't beat melted cheese, grilled onions, and a smash patty.
The burger might not have been created in America, but the burger was owned by America, and it feels righteous that it won
Well, the
today.
hamburger cut was
There's a takeaway
Done
from
in
this video,
Germany,
and that is
but
that
the
there's great
hamburger
food
was
all
made in
over
America.
the United States of America. Even the ones that rank low, I'm sure there are places that make it fantastic. I encourage you to venture out.
Yes, indeed. And now I really have to go. We can cover the breakfast tomorrow. But yes. Thanks for coming by. Sorry about discussing weird topics. Thanks for the raid. And I hope you have a good night, Anne. I hope you have a good day, person. It feels weird to say goodbye. All right, parasites it is. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to stay another half hour. Going into full depth. Yeah, no, okay, no. But yeah, sorry. All right, well, anyways, bye. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciated it. Later, we can do the popping again, just not as much. I don't like it when it's just like 5 minutes of the popping in one sitting. Oh, no. Bye!